be going over some core and abdominal exercises and their advanced variations. You'll be able to take your client through the basics all the way to the advanced so that they can have improved lower back strength, core stability. Also, a lot of people care about their visual appearance of their abs, so it will cover all those bases and improve athletic ability. The first one we're going to start with is probably the most basic. It's going to be the plank. Generally, when you start with the plank, you're going to start on the floor on a flat surface. They can have a mat. It's also known through yoga. It's a yoga exercise as a bridge. So the traditional plank is with your arms extended, but what we're going to be doing today is called a bridge, but the names cross over. So when you start with the plank / bridge, you're going to come down. Your client's going to start on their elbows, all right, and then they're going to come out up on their toes. The key is you want to make sure that they keep perfectly straight alignment. A lot of people tend to sag, or even worse, some people will push their hips up like a TP. So you want to keep them, when you're spotting them, keep them in a straight line, like so, and then have them stare straight down. Make sure they breathe while they're doing the exercise. A lot of people have the tendency to hold their breath, and then you're just going to monitor their progress through time. So some people may only be able to do it for 10 seconds to start with, or some may be able to go a minute from the first time they do it. But generally about 30 seconds is what most people will be able to do. So you'll time them. And then when they can do the plank for 1 minute is when you're going to move on to the intermediate variation of the plank. All right, so the intermediate next step up is going to be to elevate their feet on a bench. You could also use aerobic steps to monitor the elevation. So once again, when they do the elevated feet plank, they're going to have their elbows on the ground first. And then they're just going to put their toes up on the bench, like so, and then you're just going to monitor their alignment once again. This time, people are going to have a tendency to sag their hips as opposed to raise them because there's not much room to raise them. So you want to make sure they keep their shoulders back over top of their elbows and keep their core tight. And this is also going to be monitored through time progression. So once they can get to about a minute of feet elevated planks, then you can move them on to the advanced variation, which we're going to bring in a Swiss ball for that. That's just going to add another added element of core stability. And this exercise also can be dangerous, so you want to make sure you spot them as well. Their alignment is going to be the first thing you're going to want to spot, but then also you just want to make sure that they don't fall, or if they do fall, that you're there to help break their fall, or have a mat on each side so that it won't be too bad of a fall. So the first step you're going to take is you're going to have them place their elbows on the ball. All right, there's different size balls, so normally, depending on the size, it actually makes it more difficult or less difficult. So normally you want a ball that's about the same height as the bench. So this one's a little taller, but that's all right as long as it's close. So the first thing they're going to do is place their elbows on the Swiss ball, and then like the feet elevated plank, find the bench, put one foot up, and then the second foot up, and then monitor their alignment. In this one, you're also going to monitor through through time progression. And another slight adjustment you can make is they can make their feet wider, and that's going to give them a better base and make the exercise a little bit easier. But then ultimately, you want to have your feet together like so. And then once they get to this level, any time is good because it's an advanced variation. Your upper body is working very hard, as well as your core and your hip flexors. And then, of course, your lower back will get the biggest benefit. All right, so those are the progression of the plank. It's a simple exercise, but it can never get old. And it will help improve anybody from an athlete to someone that's just wanting to look better to a senior citizen trying to improve lower back pains. So all three of these variations can be applied. And once again, never start with the advanced. Always start on the basics and work through time progression as you move them along.